The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Happy Monday. We are back on schedule. We had a nice little 2-week vacation with the holidays. But for those that are new to the channel, I'm Justin.
No, I'm JP.
And, of course, as the intro may have suggested, we're the Podcasting Dead. We podcast about everything from The Walking Dead to some of JP's debauchery. So if you're into podcasts in general or any of those things, make sure to consider giving a subscribe. If nothing else, give us a like. It helps us out a ton. So today, we are discussing Negan's role going forward when The Walking Dead returns. And, of course, hopefully it goes without saying, spoilers for the show and also for the comic. We're going to spoil the crap out the comic. So if you're one of those who is waiting, I guess, until the show ends to read the whole thing, you might. Anyways. All right, so JP, number one, man, what do you think Negan's role going forward is like? Do you think it's going to mirror the comics quite a bit, or do you think that there's some kind of deviation they're going to pull off?
Man, it'd be crazy if they return Negan to his sinister ways after all the character growth he's had the last couple seasons, man. And just real quick, speaking of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, did you see him tweet out that picture of him in the comedian costume? For the he was just like,
No.
comeback in 2020.
No.
So they're like, is he going to have appear in that? Is he going to appear in perhaps, Flashpoint Batman? Is he going to be some kind of costume vigilante?
Well, slight spoilers for a Doomsday Clock, so you've been warned. But, in Doomsday Clock, Dr. Manhattan did pluck him out of his time for just a moment.
Yeah.
Was it Dr. Manhattan that plucked him out?
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, just plucked him out, and then he got put right back, So it is possible that perhaps the comedian could be showing up maybe in the show next season if they do another season.
But, I had to mention that. That was a pretty cool
I'm glad to see my man Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing some things, man. He seems like a really gnarly dude, so it's cool to see him. Which, not that he's not ever, he's always been successful, but I'm glad to see him doing more and more and more and more and more. But anyways, so what do you think, man? Because it wouldn't surprise me, because The Walking Dead's writing sometimes, as much as we love the show, we have to admit sometimes the writing isn't the best. However, since Angela Kang took the wheel, it seems the writing has been much better. But I could see past seasons making him go back to be evil. Just screw all the character growth. We're just gonna,
It's one of those weird things. I mean, they got the gallows waiting for him back at Alexandria after he accidentally killed that Skefu's chick trying to
beat up on Lydia. Yeah,
well, they were
just trying to kill her pretty much. Yeah, absolutely.
I can see, but now he's with the psycho skinwalkers. They're not
the whispers.
It's been a long break.
We've been off. We took a 2-week break from podcasting, so we're just kind of getting back into the Walking Dead mindset. So you got to forgive us. And but no, and I think that I do think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's going to follow his comic story arc. I think he's going to do what he can. Like he's going to, maybe even rat out Gamma to gain. I think he's just trying to get as close as he can to Alpha, and then he's going to do, because we see in the I don't know if you can call it a trailer, I guess kind of, but the scenes from next season that we saw after the mid-season finale, we see a scene of Alpha covered in blood, like
exactly
face down to neck. And while it could be misleading, I do think that is. I don't think it'll be identical, like, he'll hold her down and slice her head off, but I definitely think, like, he'll slit her throat real quick or something, and as she's dying, that might be, like, her in her final moments. But I definitely think, because we see him without a shirt on, too. We saw, like, a scene of Jeffrey Dean Morgan in that little flashes of the next half of the season. He doesn't have a shirt on.
See, now, I haven't seen the most recent trailer.
No, I think that is the most recent thing. I don't think they've actually dropped like a trailer
I haven't
yet.
seen shirtless Jeffrey Dean.
Yes, you have.
I haven't.
You were
seen
at my house watching the finale.
Dude, I swear I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
I'll
have to pull that up and show you. But yeah, there's a scene where he's shirtless.
He's sure, because I like going in so fresh. But no, so you think that could possibly, because in the comic he never actually skinned up.
No. Well, and him being shirtless could be him getting punished by Alpha. You know, they like to do the whippings and things like that. So that could be what that is. But part of me wonders if it's not he just got done cutting Alpha's head off or slitting the throat, and that he's covered in blood, obviously, as one would be, if that's not a scene where he takes his shirt off because he's covered in blood. And, that could be wrong. I feel like that shirtless scene of Jeffrey Dean Morgan is either punishment, maybe even he talks a little schnit, right? He tells Alpha, punish me, baby, do your thing. Or it's after he's killed her.
Alpha even likes getting whipped.
Yeah, she does.
She's like one of those
on her arm,
monks. Though. Yeah, I don't know about her back, but
yeah, I don't know that we've seen her. It's been on her arm though, but that could be. So it's one. I feel like the shirtless Jeffrey Dean Morgan's one of those two, and then you have the bloodied Alpha, which I feel is Alpha after getting her throat slit. Yeah. But it could be Alpha kills somebody.
Possibly
right after,
possibly so.
But we do also kind of analyzing that footage. We do see a scene of Beta in Alexandria. What? See, what I think is going to happen is I think that, and somebody shared a picture. It's a behind the scenes photo, but it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Norman Reedus, and Melissa McBride. I think that's the only ones in it. But they're having a smoke break between scenes, and Carol has a bag on her shoulder. And a lot of people are thinking that bag is going to contain Alpha's head.
Very possible. So they all smoke? They're all smokers?
Carol's not. I didn't see Carol smoking a cigarette. But yeah, Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan smoke.
Oh, wow.
But, so the way I think it's going to go is very similar to the comics. I think that Alpha's going to die, Beta's going to find out, and then Beta will be leading the charge, which will kind of kick into the actual Whisperer War.
Yeah, probably so, man, because Beta's going to be so unhinged. I mean, if nothing else, at least Alpha kind of has a vision and has some restraint. I mean, not that much. She's real quick to kill somebody, but Beta, man, he's just going to be like a dog let off a leash.
Oh, yes. Well, especially, too, it's like a dog who watched its master get mauled, you know? He's going to be out for blood. And that might be where I do feel like, I don't really, it's hard for me to make death predictions right now. But I do think that we might still see Gabriel get his comic death in the second half of the season. And maybe it's from that because you remember in the comics, Father Gabriel falls down, his leg gets caught in the ladder and snaps, looks extremely painful. And Beta's the one that walks up and stabs him. Yeah. Basically tells him to shh, whatever. Exactly. Right. And then he walks away and Gabe gets torn apart by zombies. But I feel like we're going to get something similar to that. Maybe Gabe's on watch or he's out or whatever and he falls. And, because we do see that Beta looks to be in Alexandria in the scenes from next half of the season.
Yeah, he's going to be in there, man, in the thick of things. And like I said, Negan, he's not going to let harm come to Judith. And I think that's when he's really going to have his throwdown with the big man.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we've got to have that. We got a really good fight with him and Daryl. I thought that was Daryl. I realize how hick I sound when I say that. Okay. Daryl. But we had I really enjoyed the fight between Beta and Daryl. I thought it was awesome.
One of the high points of that whole season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But wow. I will be very disappointed if we don't get our Negan Beta brawl.
I believe it'll happen.
And still so many questions. We've seen the scene of Michonne with the baseball bat. Is that a dream? She's got Lucille at some point. We've seen in scenes from this season, and we haven't gotten to that point yet. So is that going to be a dream? Perhaps when she's on the island or wherever, she's going to get the weapons, is she going to have a dream and think she's becoming Neganish and, whatever? I think she's going to find evidence, though, of Rick there, and that's what's going to be her departure. But
could be, man. I really hope they don't botch her last story arc. You know what I mean? That's really gonna put me in a bad place.
Right.
So hopefully they don't, man. And I don't know. Hopefully she does.
Hopefully she goes to the Rick movies, man. Because the thing is, going back, I just recently rewatched the entire show. Well, I can't say the entire. I am back into season 9 now, but Denai Guerrero is just one of the best on the show. She's just awesome. Going back and rewatching, man, she's had so many good moments in character growth. From when we first technically meet her at the end of season 2, but you don't really meet her until the beginning of season 3. But coming from being this kind of almost like a feral child that doesn't speak to people and is very just got that animal intensity, doesn't trust anyone. And then you see her grow and you see her friendly attitude with Carl that turns into like a mother-son dynamic. And then she's been such a great character. So to lose her, like you said, I agree. They better not F this up.
You think she's going to die, though?
I used to, but now I feel like she might go to the Rick movies.
Okay. And the first Rick movie is slated for a theatrical release, is it not? Have I read that?
I don't know.
I think I've read that. I could be wrong. Commenters comment.
Yeah, let us know. I think I read that they were going to do it in select theaters. Like you might have a few that'll do it, but I don't think it'll be
I could see it be a good box office success. I think Walking Dead's got enough brand recognition. The question is the brand too damaged, though, to bring in the kind of money they want?
Or has it been going too long for anyone to really... I mean, you and I would, for sure.
Oh, I'll be there to see. Yeah, you and I will probably have to go down the track a little ways. But yeah, we'll go see it in theaters, and we'll even broadcast live before and after.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That would be really cool.
It's going to be a great time, but man, The Walking Dead's been fortunate enough to have someone to pump some new life into it, and like Doctor Who, man, it's in like maybe its 12th season now. That just came back on TV, man, and it's like they're trying so hard to make it good again, to bring it back to its heyday. And to me, at least, it's just not working.
Happening.
It's not working, man. It's just like, ugh, this is painful.
Well, sometimes there's a such thing as too much of a good thing.
Well, you just need someone with some fresh ideas to, not someone to just like reverse, take you back in time to when it was good. Just breathe some new life, give us something fresh.
Which is kind of what Angela, which is what Angela King has done.
Yeah, and she has. And
as showrunner,
man. I mean, it does have kind of shades of what we used to love, but it's also introducing new elements. It feels horror-ish again, if that's even a word.
Horror-ish.
Horror-ish.
It feels horror-ish again?
Yes, I think it is. So yeah, man, I'm super stoked for this season. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I didn't get to see him shirtless like you did, but...
Well, you watched the scenes. You did see it. You're just not remembering it.
Hopefully, he took that leather jacket off before he got all bloodied up. I guess that would wash pretty well off of leather.
Just wipe it off, I guess, with a wet cloth. But yeah, I've seen some. I haven't watched them. I saw where Movie Idol, another Walking Dead YouTube channel, was talking about, the title of the video. I didn't watch it, so I know that we have some crossover with our listeners. So listeners, you can enlighten us. But I was seeing where they said something. It was him or either Drake George, some other really good Walking Dead YouTubers that I have listened to. But I haven't seen these yet. But I had videos, one of them talking about Negan might die, that they're going to do a radical shift from the comic, and that Negan's going to die. So, listeners, let us know.
I did have a dream that Negan died. Like, not even kidding.
Really?
I didn't think about it till we got to talking about it. Yeah, but he blew his head off with a shotgun.
Negan did.
Yeah,
not
in my dream. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't. Like I said, that just popped back up in my memory. But anyway, I don't think it'll happen like that though.
No, I don't think he's going to commit suicide. I think if anything, Beta would be the one to take him out. But I mean, I could see Negan doing some kind of self-sacrificing death, some redemption for what he's done. But
if he dies, it'll be saving Judith, like without a shadow.
It's got to be, yeah. If he just died some fruitless death out in the woods, you've just set us up for a real. I mean, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and the actress that played Judith have such a good dynamic too that. You can't set us up for that and then take it away.
I could see him getting a Herschel type death,
Do you think it'll involve decapitation?
It might, man. That'd be a strange role reversal. This is a parallel universe, so it could happen.
Some people in whoever had it, and I apologize for not remembering, which again, I didn't watch the video. I just saw it. But
which video?
The one talking about Negan dying. But they actually had a picture of Negan from the show and then comic Rick, almost like from the thumbnail, it seems like they're suggesting Negan might get like Rick's death.
What? Oh, wow.
Similar to it from the comics. But I don't know how that would really pan out unless like Beta just rolled into his sleeping bag, however they sleep, just started shanking him, and I don't really see how that would work. Yeah. But then, you know what though, they could be looking more into the future. They might not be saying that Negan's going to die now. The video might have been saying that Negan is going to die in the future storyline with the Commonwealth in the way that Rick does. Now, I could see that.
That'd be crazy, man. So you think that Negan will kind of take Rick's place in history in the world of The Walking Dead? That'd be like like George Washington finding out before he was this great, revolutionary general, he was kind of like a Stalin or something. I don't know. Which, I mean, a lot of our, historical figures have kind of a tainted history, but we won't get into that.
Everybody does. I love those memes where it's like America, so America stole their land, blah blah blah, with whatever, and then it shows it's like every other country, and it's got that kind of like oh shit kind of look. I mean, every country's got some twisted history.
No, believe me, I take up for Columbus every other day. So,
dear God.
Yeah.
But anyways, back on the Walking Dead path here. I don't know that he'll replace him. The thing that's confusing me with the movies is, from what I've read, and again, these things can change, so let us know if you've seen any different. But I had read that Rick was going to make it through all 3 movies.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. It could be, The Walking Dead is not above misdirecting us from time to time.
But I mean, if he,
so we'll see.
How does he survive all 3 movies unless he's got amnesia or something and not tried? It's been 6 years, right? So, like, how has he not tried to come back at some point? So if he survived, where does he go?
I believe he'll end up back on the home show. I've said that before, but that is true. I mean, it's going to be, he could be all the way at the West Coast. He could be up in Alaska. It could be a long journey home.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it takes him years to get back. I don't know. I'm really excited to see it all unfold.
Yeah, it'll be pretty crazy. You read about Robert Kirkman's original ending for the comic book, right?
It ended in Alexandria, right? Just got overrun. There was a statue of Rick,
right.
But it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was. So it'd be interesting if he comes home and that's what he comes home to. That's what he sees,
Just Alexandria and ruins.
Yeah, maybe it's a statue of Negan, but yeah, it's just overrun with the dead, and I don't know, man.
We just have to hear Negan and Rick's subconscious go, hot diggity dog.
Yeah. That could be like the inscribed on the plaque under his statue. That's all it says.
Hot diggity dog. Shut that shit down.
Yeah.
I saw where also too, and again, a lot of what I'm saying is when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I'll see the title of a video, but supposedly we're looking at maybe a Negan movie coming up in the next year or two.
Oh wow!
Now I don't know if it will be like Rick's, like a solo adventure, or if it'll be more of a backstory.
Oh wow!
Which we've read, Here's Negan comic, and I thought that was really good.
Oh, I loved it.
I thought that was awesome. I thought it felt very natural too. He's always been a douchebag, but you see his progression that kind of leads him to think the way he does, and it was actually written very well. I mean, it's Robert Kirkman. I mean,
sure.
He's I think more often than not, Robert Kirkman's a pretty damn good writer.
Mm-hmm.
He has his misses every now and again, but like the Negan backstory was just on the money. So perhaps that's what we'll get, is a Negan backstory. So we'll kind of see, because the show definitely kind of leaves it somewhat ambiguous, or for you to decide if you thought that Negan really thought he was saving people, or if it's just something he told himself and everyone to justify his actions. But when you read the Here's Negan comic, you realize that no, there is a reason why he has that sense of like, you're going to do what the guy tell you, and that's going to keep you alive. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. It's kind of like Truman deciding to drop the A-bomb on Japan. He knew it was either that, an atrocity, or, all the ground war that's going to kill millions, assuming you believe that that's what happened. We won't get into alternate history, but
we have Weird Wednesday every Wednesday here on the channel. So,
right.
JP, I would love for you to fill me in on that. That's I've never heard you speak against the atomic bombing. So
yeah, well, a lot of people think that nuclear energy and the atomic bombs don't even exist. It was just like a Dr. Manhattan kind of scare tactic to prevent another world war. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we see all these World War III memes, and you're just like, oh my gosh, OMG.
OMG World War III.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a good hashtag.
Hashtag OMG World War III.
Yeah.
But no, I think that Negan, at the end of the day, Negan's going to follow a very similar path to the comics, at least getting through the alpha ordeal.
As do I, man. And talking about the comics, I want to see a comic book that charts Negan's adventures, like right after Rick Grimes' demise, so to speak, up until he, becomes a hermit in that house that Carl's dropping canned goods off for.
I wasn't really happy with that. I liked the last issue, and I thought it was good, but I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted more from the final Negan
Yeah, I want to. I want to see that kind of just his adventures in those missing years. You know what I mean? And that'd be great. That one shot, The Alien, about Rick Grimes' brother in Paris.
Right.
It'd be great to see Brian K. Vaughan write that and get a good artist. And
I thought that was a good read.
Oh yeah, dude.
I enjoyed
it was a
that
fun little thing. Yeah, the only Walking Dead work, to my knowledge, that Robert Kirkman hasn't been a Kirkman joint.
Yeah, and it was good. I think he definitely understood what made The Walking Dead The Walking Dead.
Oh, Brian K. Vaughan, such a great comic writer, such a great one.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be good to see a Negan spinoff.
Yeah.
Hey, be TV, movies, comics, whatever, man. We just need more Negan in our lives. I think
we need more Negan.
We can all agree on that.
Hot diggity dog. Yeah. But yeah, he's the shiznit, man. Going back through and watching, I definitely still maintain that they drug out All Out War, and I hate that for Negan's character. I feel like
they botched.
I feel like season 7 again. For those that are new, I know that those of you that are subscribed or been listening for years, you're like, God, you sound like a broken record. But I'm kind of speaking somewhat to, also to the newer listeners. But sure. I've always said that I thought season 7A should have been them submitting Negan, with the mid-season finale being they realize they can't keep living this way and that this is never going to work. They got to rebel. And then the second half is them defeating Negan. Yeah. And then season 8 should have been season 9, and season 9 should have been 10, and now he should be, whatever. But with that said, though, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is so damn lovable as Negan. Mm-hmm. Like going back through and watching it with no commercials, not waiting between episodes, you just realize what a gem he is on the show.
No, he's perfect, man, in every way.
And I was not that excited with him getting cast either. Like, I liked Jeffrey Dean Morgan as an actor, but I always imagined someone bigger and...
Well, man, he's dropped some weight since he was like the comedian.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
know why. He's so much more lean, and that's fine.
But he plays a damn good Negan, and I am very glad to see he took that role and made it its own.
Yeah, he has, man. Terrific actor. I would like to see him reprise a role either as a Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, perhaps the comedian.
That's what I'm talking about,
so to speak. It would be interesting.
I want to see a Flashpoint Bat. I want to see a Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Thomas Wayne Batman.
Well, they've slated the next Flash movie for release in 2022, I think.
Flash movie?
Yeah,
it's not going to have Ezra Miller in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's the worst Flash, man. He's awful.
And it's there's a lot of speculation that it will be Flashpoint, and that'll kind of help sync up all, because there's no more Ben Affleck Batman, but you still got Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, and
right.
You're gonna have the Robert Pattinson Batman movie set in the 90s. So who knows, man? They got a lot of loose threads to tie up.
Yeah, sure. It's nothing against Ezra Miller as an actor or a person. He's just a terrible Barry Allen, though. I mean, it's almost like it's like DC watched the Marvel movies, and Marvel introduced Spider-Man. It's like DC was like, oh, man, we need a quirky teenager, too. Let's take Barry Allen and make him the quirky teenager. Like, I despised his Flash and Justice League, which that movie wasn't that good. But
Justice League, yeah.
But I hated his Flash. I thought it was awful. He's like, Pet Cemetery, and just was so, almost as you say, a little too on the nose, man. Like, Barry Allen's this, I don't know. I don't know. Barry Allen's a whiny bitch in the comics, but I don't know. I like him, I don't know.
I definitely prefer CW Flash to.
Yes, Grant Gustin plays a great Flash, and that's not who I imagine. If I was to see him, I wouldn't imagine him as Barry Allen, but he plays it really well.
Yeah. I'd be perfectly happy to see a movie starring him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Even if it's not even tied into the CW continuity.
Without a doubt.
So.
Not to delve too much further away from The Walking Dead, but Crisis on Infinite Earths, did that wrap up?
No, it's coming back sometime pretty soon. They took a little holiday break, so it'll come back and address stuff with Legends and,
Has it been
Arrow
good?
And all this kind of stuff. So
has it been good?
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it for the most part. It had, it wasn't all peaches and cream, but overall, I found it satisfying.
Kevin Conroy's Batman was a little off.
It was weird, man. It was weird. It was a little weird, but it was it was cool to see a darker Batman, but then it just kind of falls backwards and gets electrocuted. And
it's like, who in these movies, like movies and comics and everything, all our lives, we've seen all you have to do is punch somebody hard enough, and if they fall back into anything with a power cord, they're going to get electrocuted. Like, come on, you think the Batcave would be a little bit safer than that? A guy who's used to fights and everything gets kicked one time, and it's like, oh, I hit my control panel. Like, man.
Someone really needs to get OSHA involved with what's going
absolutely.
on at Wayne Tech or whatever. I would hate to see Wayne Tech's factories and all that.
His electrical engineers really need to be kind of like shut down and looked over.
Yeah.
I don't even know that they have their journeymans.
I don't know, man.
Because, geez almighty.
Yeah, if the rest of the operation's anything like the Batcave, God in heaven.
But yeah, so no, back to The Walking Dead again, thinking Negan's going to follow the comic story arc up at least to Alpha's death. Now, afterwards, he might take a more Rick role and, die at the I don't know. I definitely think we're heading to the Commonwealth.
Yeah, we certainly are.
We see also in those scenes Rosita and Eugene leaning in for a kiss.
Yeah.
It looks like he might finally get that butt.
He might, man.
But that could also just be a dream.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Rosita's really kind of stepped up for me this season. I mean, she's been up front in past seasons, and I've always liked Rosita. But, I mean, I don't know, man. This last season, she's really kind of been doing it for, at the risk of, not in a perverted way.
No, of course not.
She's doing, I like her a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, she's kind of, after watching her whoop the shit out of Dante, we knew she was a tough person, and we knew that she wasn't somebody to be trifled with. But just to see her, because Dante wasn't a little guy, and she's not a big person. So to see her with that size difference still just pretty much whoop his ass was awesome. Go Rosita. So I'm really digging, but I'd be really heartbroken if they're setting up for this whole Eugene thing, Eugene Rosita, and then she dies.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Because we know that Eugene's going to possibly have a love interest coming from the Commonwealth, so we might end up where it's the reverse. Where Eugene's always pined after Rosita while she's been in different love triangles and yada, 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 love boxes at times. But then now Eugene's got somebody and Rosita's kind of on the outside,
Yeah, man, it's a weird thing dating after the apocalypse. It's a really weird thing.
You sound like you speak from experience.
I've dated through some. My dating life, my love life has been an apocalypse all on its own. All right.
Oh,
Total
I think we've
Armageddon.
all. I think
And
we've
when
all
I say
been
Armageddon, I'm not talking about a tube up my ass with a hamster. I'm just saying it's been a zone of horrors in past years.
Right. Well, I think we've all been through that. We've all had our apocalyptic love failures, but nonetheless, you grow. But yeah, so that's, what do you think? What do you think Negan's future looks like in The Walking Dead? I could definitely see him taking some of that Rick role, but it looks like right now it looks like Rick's leadership has been split between Daryl and Carol. We've gotten, and I honestly hope they keep it that way. I've really dug the fact that there's not necessarily one central character that, like Game of Thrones, you're really kind of following multiple story arcs that are almost all pretty damn good in their own way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll see Negan focus back in as the Rick. I don't know, but I could see him getting gunned down.
Yeah.
The way anyway. So let us know what you think in the comments below. We've only got a few more weeks.
I know.
Until it comes back. JP, are you coming back to the man cave?
I think I will. And it's going to be great. And dude, speaking of having more Negan in your life, who's about to have a lot more Negan in his life is our patron, Brandon Manis. We got his prize pack, a beautiful Negan prize pack. It's heading his way. And speaking of prize packs, we just got donated a bunch of cool Walking Dead merch. We're going to be doing giveaways, honey, like you ain't never seen.
We've got a lot of really cool. I'm really jealous of one of them. There's one thing that I still don't know if I want to announce it because I want to try to figure out some way to buy it.
I know, it's crazy, man. There's
super cool.
There's a couple awesome things. We got stuff from the TV show, stuff from the comics. It's a really
cool mixture of just for Walking Dead fans. I think you're going to really dig it. So
it's going to be a good time. Stay tuned. Stay aware.
Check out our Patreon.
Check out the Patreon.
We'll have some secret contests going. We just, like you said, Brandon's got his on the way with the holiday season and everything. Obviously, JP and I both ordered something for our girlfriends. 3 weeks ago, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, and it still hasn't come in. So shipping right now It's a pain in the ass. So
when Justin says our girlfriends, yes, we're in a polyamorous relationship. We do,
of course,
wife share. So he was very literal when he said that.
I thought that went without saying.
Yeah,
I guess for the new listeners,
yes,
JP and I, yeah,
it's a small harem, but a harem nonetheless.
We're starting a compound,
exactly,
that you can join for a small nominal fee.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts. Where's Negan headed? Is he going to follow his comic story arc? And then what's after that? Because, I mean, basically in the comics, once Negan, he kills Alpha and then he kind of heads out on his own he has his little battle with Beta, and he kind of, after the Whisperer War, heads out on his own. We really don't see him but another time or so, and then he's gone. So I definitely hope we don't get that with the show Negan. I'm hoping we get a little bit more. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And, of course, every Monday we have a Walking Dead podcast of some sort. Hopefully we'll get some new trailer action going that we can really dive into here on the channel. But don't forget, Wednesdays are Weird Wednesdays, where you will get one or both, possibly, podcasts of something that's paranormal in nature or conspiracy-ish in nature. So make sure you check us out for that. And then on Friday, mail call. We haven't done mail call in like 2 weeks.
I know. We're going to have a backstock, a plethora of questions.
Yep, mostly going to be people asking JP about the kinky shit he's into. So it's going to be a good time. Stay tuned to find out the answers for that.
It'll be a good time.
Every now and again, I'll throw out a kink. But yeah, so make sure to consider hitting that subscribe button, and we will catch you on Wednesday for Weird Wednesday. And if you only tune to the channel for the Walking Dead podcast, which that's cool, we will see you next Monday to talk more Walking Dead.
Yes.
I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.